Your attainment maximum is going to last 100 years. That is the other truth. I do believe people understand exactly what I said. But there comes the fight now again. The fight between this very strong identity that wants to just maintain itself and the other side of just forget about your identity. Be as you are, that's it. No matter what you're going to attain, you have it for 100 years afterwards, it's gone. So, just be. Don't stress yourself too much with what you don't have. Well, unfortunately, there are always 3 ways how you're going to learn this. Sometimes people just need to have the experience to realize, okay, I did it, I got it, now I realize I don't need it. But in the first place, you need to have it. First way of learning. Second way of learning, you do trust a certain teacher, you do trust a certain guide or a mentor. You just copy the way how he's living his life because you see, oh, apparently the person lives a good life, so you just copy. And the third way of learning is you maybe have like a teacher or a master. He tells you some wise words. You contemplate about it. You think about it. And because you are thinking about it, it already puts you on the alternative path without you needing to try it for yourself. And there will always be people in this world in these 3 categories. Because telling somebody, look, don't put your hand in the fire, they're still going to do it. But later when they do it like 2 times, 3 times, then it's done. But that is also the lesson involved in this person's life. Every human being is at a different level of his development. Everybody at this moment in time is exactly where he needs to be for the next elevation to take place. The only thing you need to do is look at yourself right now and just find out what is it that makes you unhappy. What exactly is it that at this moment in your life is binding you and restricting you from moving on? And this is the same question for everyone. What you ultimately need to tackle is different. In the past, I sometimes played Super Mario and Luigi. And it's the same, if you don't manage level number 1, you won't see level number 2. The challenges for number 2 won't come. First, you finish level 1. But once number 1 is finished, you won't face the same stuff anymore. And there is something along this line where it sometimes is like a game at the same time. Don't take it so serious. It helps. There is always the struggle between doing and being. Doing, I would ask, why are you doing? Why do you want to go into action? There is a goal. The goal, why do you have that goal? Because you're aiming at receiving something that in the moment where you have it, apparently you are lacking. This type of goal setting, I would automatically refer to it already, that your goal setting already comes from a space of lack. You feel like you're lacking something. That's why you need to do. You feel like you're lacking something. That's why you need to educate yourself. Okay? So this is the one direction. Now coming back, maybe sounds again too philosophical. Connected with the source. There's nothing to add and there's nothing to take away from you. So apparently, when somebody has this very, very high ambition of doing something, achieving something, then most likely the chances are there this is not coming from a connection to the source. It is coming from the idea of wanting to nourish or create an identity. An identity that represents something that you think you want to represent. This is the one area, the doing versus the being. The second thing is that ultimately goes hand in hand with this way of living your life. One thing is being forgotten along the line. The truth that whoever and whatever you are creating and are intending to create and are intending to gather now and starting to attain things, your attainment maximum is going to last 100 years. That is the other truth. Make yourself strong. Prepare yourself in this lifetime for the end. Prepare for the end in the now. That's what it is. We are preparing for the end in the now. The end of what? The end of that anyway you're going to lose your identity if you want or not. You don't need to worry about losing your ego, getting rid of the illusion of your I during this lifetime. If you manage to do, it's good for you. If you don't manage to do, it's going to happen anyway. But it's going to happen without your acknowledgement. Very rapidly, from one day to another, it's going to happen. And this is again the truth of the human being. What is the most difficult things for us humans to face if the status quo is changing too quickly? If we humans can prepare, everything is easy to take. If you have time to prepare for something, it's always more easy. If something comes too abrupt, too quick, it's difficult to take it. And this is why it makes sense. Prepare for the end. And I'm sorry that all of this sounds so depressive, maybe. It's not. It only sounds depressive. But the great part is, something ends, something new begins. I think it's very, very obvious when you are suffering. You cannot sleep, you cannot focus, you don't have a smile on your face doesn't look healthy, your energy that you are expressing feels constricted. There is no openness, there is no lightness, there is some heaviness. There are many different signs how this suffering starts to express itself. It's a personal perspective everyone has to take, but it also goes hand in hand with the ability of can you see yourself? And there's only one way in order to see yourself. Let go of yourself and then you can see yourself. Without judgment, just see yourself. Look yourself in the mirror. This is a nice practice. Next time you're drunk or anything like this, stand in front of the mirror, look at you for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. You can also do it without alcohol and then look deep inside. Not only inside, also look at your skin, look at the scars in the face, look at the scars on the body. There is something about the expression, everything about you. There's a story behind it. Nothing on your body is there by coincidence. Looking at yourself and reading the history about yourself is something many people cannot do. And in Buddhist teaching, there's a nice saying. There are 3 things that can never be hidden: the sun, the moon, the truth. Whatever you have done in this lifetime, consciously or unconsciously, it's better to know of what has been done. Then you know who you are and you know what to adjust in order for you to move on into the future. If there are still too many things of the past inside of you that you don't even know about, what have you done? Things that are unresolved, is difficult to move on. The only way to move on is to unknot all the connections that you have established in the past. Unknotting all the karmic relations that you have established, consciously or unconsciously. It's not an easy thing to do.
What do you mean by let go?
This is letting go of something material or something physical, but very often it is thoughts that also make us suffer. It is something that you have here inside. It matters. If you wake up in the morning, what are you thinking when you wake up in the morning? And if you already wake up with conflict in the mind, with unsatisfaction inside the mind, wake up with a feeling of lack. I wake up, I have to do something quickly because I don't have it right now. Whatever it is. So running after something. Why do you chase anything? Because you're in a state of lack. Something's missing. If you would have it, why would you chase it? And now the question is, where does this lack come from? God is not putting you in this earth incomplete. Afterwards, we start having ideas about how this life is supposed to be. If you're not successful, it's not a life. If you don't have many cars, it's not a life. If you don't have many friends, it's not a life. Well, no, this is all human ideas. You came to the earth right from the beginning. You have been complete. This is the alternative. At the moment, I would say it's just guiding to rethink. So what is the next way of what can people do? Rethink your life. Look at how is your life looking at the moment? How did you spend the last 5 years, 10 years? Do you maybe see some patterns in your life? Then you got the iPhone. Then you got the MacBook Pro, the big TV screen. Then the first car you had, a Volkswagen. Afterwards, you had a BMW. But there is a pattern behind there. Whenever you get what you want, you will realize that's not it. When do you start to realize the pattern that running after desires is not going to fulfill your desire? What you need is realization. What you need is wake up. Ask yourself, your satisfaction about life, is it based on a condition or not? Because this is what I would see right now. Everything that at the moment you want to have, always when you say, I need this in order to feel complete, I want this in order to feel complete, then it means your satisfaction about life is based on conditions. As long as I have many followers, I'm happy. As long as I have a family, I'm happy. As long as I have the car and the big house, I'm happy. The fact is, you do not have a guarantee. You do not have a security that at any point in time, you're gonna lose these things. First of all, latest, when the body falls apart, you're gonna lose them anyway. I cannot base my life on circumstances where I don't have influence on. And this is exactly what this life is about. Don't base your life satisfaction on circumstances where you have no influence on. If you have, well, then change them in the way that serve you. But there are many things we don't have. Then you are realizing your life is in your hands. Your responsibility is make sure that inside you're always full, or that you're feeling full. No matter what happens on the outside, nobody can take something away from you. Because the gift that has been given to you is the existence, is this lifetime in the first place. We already have been given the greatest gift of everything, existence. Now, don't let anybody interfere trying to take that away from you. So that means don't outsource the power of having your life in your own hands. Don't outsource this to external circumstances. Don't outsource it to the amount of messages you receive per day. Don't outsource it to the number of followers. Don't outsource it to how big the apartment is, how many cars you have. If you can afford it, do it. Just don't make that emotional and mental attachment. This is the part. It's not about how many cars you have. You can have a whole garage full with all the luxury cars. That's not a problem. The problem is how much are you identified with your possessions. The identification is the problem. To have a garage full and just use them and enjoy them, and when you drive and the weather is nice, then it's really nice. But then you put it back into the garage, you go eat your meal, and while you're eating, the car is gone. You're not thinking about the car anymore. It's gone, it's standing in the garage, finished. Now you just enjoy the meal. Attachment is the problem. It is a process. It is of rewiring. How have you lived your life until right now? How much did it serve you, the way of thinking until now? And how much also did it limit you? These are all things every individual has to ask for themselves. What is it from what you have heard until right now that in a way resonates with you? You observe this pattern in your own life. And ultimately, the only person who can do something about it, it's not me. You make a decision. Your life is in your hands.